Never banned it. Put the perks down and picked up the jiggers. Tommy in the
Everyone, there are different ways to set a record and leave your mark in the Guinness World Record book. Some put all their effort.
I'm gonna set a record for being the most realest nigga this motherfucking planet ever fucking seen.
When the new record appears, it instantly makes the headlines.
The fuck is that? A potato?
I'll tell you about the most incredible records from all corners of the world. They're so amazing you could hardly believe someone
How the
actually
fuck?
set them. Let's get it on.
They getting that bitch steroids?
Skydiving without a parachute. You will not impress anyone with skydiving today. Yes, it is an extreme sport. Not everyone has the courage to do it, but in general it is quite common. But imagine jumping...
Ain't there that talk show host right there in the middle? Under him? I forgot his name. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Story. An American skydiver, Luke Aikins, was the first man to jump from a height of 7,620 meters out of a plane without a parachute. He didn't use a parachute at all, and after about 2 minutes of freefall, he successfully landed in a 30 by 30 meter net, as if the jump wasn't dangerous enough already.
Crowd on the ground looking up, they have a visual on him right now.
Luke needed to do precise calculations in order to land in the right spot. The historic jump happened in Simi Valley, California. By the way, Luke is a professional skydiver and stuntman who coached many skydivers and also performed stunts in Iron Man 3. In order not to lose a valuable employee,
Stop lying.
Guild intervened in the final weeks of preparations by
That shit look fun.
wear a parachute.
That look fun. Not that shit. Hell no. Are you crazy? I ain't jumping on no goddamn plane.
Mass and therefore could ruin the entire jump. It took Aikins.
Would y'all do that, bro? Let me know in the comments, because I really want to know. Who the in a living world
This incredible jump,
would attempt that, bro?
Jumped together with Luke. One of them was shooting a video, the other left a smoke trail for the observers on the ground, and the third removed his oxygen tank. Then all three deployed their parachutes.
Them niggas loud. They on some spy shit. You heard they did?
Free fall, the stuntmen reached a speed of 193 kilometers per hour and successfully landed straight into the net. A mantle of bees. Any man who's ever encountered bees wants to steer pretty clear of them. They sting, you know, and it hurts like hell. However, a fearless child...
Hurts like hell? Hurts like a bitch! Shit. Man, a bitch stung me in my motherfucking head, bro. I found that bitch, though. And you know what I did to that bitch? Lady, I been some fucking nigga shit. I stumped that bitch fucking goddamn wings into his goddamn back. He got stung. Shit not possible. Hell no.
Disappeared under the mantle of insects in an attempt to create the longest bee beard. This weird hobby became popular back in the 19th century. Competitors placed the queen bee on their bodies, after which thousands of bees flocked to them. Rowan successfully set a record for the heaviest mantle of bees, which weighed a daunting 63.7 kilograms and consisted of approximately...
So how you get the bees off you? Because I know you just can't run away.
Insects, including 60 queens. He explains the secret behind his success. The challenger must keep calm when dealing with bees. Bees will die once they sting you, so they usually avoid stinging unless they think you're threatening them. Fearless slackliners. Slacklining is the art of walking or balancing along a suspended rope of flat webbing, and as in any form of physical activity, records have been set here as well. 3 professional slackliners, Pablo Signoret, Raphael Bridi, and Guillaume Curie, decided to set a record walking a 200-meter high line between 2 ice falls in the French Alps at a height of 3 kilometers above sea level.
Crack. On crack. Don't crack. Crack.
No shake. Next step. Jusqu'au bout, tranquille.
Crack.
It sounds very scary and very dangerous, but the coolest thing about it is that the slackliners actually made it. Aside from maintaining their balance at an incredible height, they also had to deal with a lack of oxygen, strong winds, and cold weather. Mountains are not the most welcoming place for such tricks after all, but they did it. As they later said, the most difficult thing was to get to the place where they were going to set the record. The guys had to walk more than 5 days to reach the spot. Paragliding.
Bitch! Hell no.
Paraglider is not the best aircraft for tricks.
So did they stop when they got to a mountain, like that,
in 2002,
and go on the other side? I don't know.
568 tumbles during one jump. Tumbling earned the right to be considered the most difficult of all maneuvers because the pilot goes over the vertical line of the paraglide sail in consecutive loops. We don't know how he avoids tangling, but one thing is certain: Horatio Lorenz is a true professional.
That look fun, but I can't risk my life for fun.
Breath hold ever. An ordinary person can survive from 1 to 5 minutes without oxygen. A trained professional up to 9 minutes. That's because our bodies can't work without oxygen, and this is hard to overcome. However, Alex Segura, a freediver from Spain, challenged the limits of the human body. On February the 28th, 2016, he set a world record by holding his breath underwater for 24 minutes and 3 seconds. He developed a special skill called static apnea. That is, he completely stopped any breathing.
I think I know how to do that. I know what he did, I think, bro.
He wouldn't be able to spend this much time underwater without a previous pure oxygen breathe-up. This is allowed by the rules, so Alex Segura was not cheating. In 2018, his record was broken by a Croatian diver, Budimir Sobat, who held his breath for 24 minutes and 11 seconds. 110 rope skips. Rope skipping is perhaps one of the most common and classic records, because anyone can set them. Well, you would have to train hard, of course. A Chinese schoolgirl, Wang Shuqin, for example, skipped over 110 ropes at once. Standing either side of Wang in 2 large semicircles, 110 of her schoolmates swung the ropes, making sure they all moved together so as to not trip their friend up, and then Wang began to jump. That's how she set a new incredible world record, skipping over 110 ropes 112 times. Amazing.
She pretty ass choked.
A string and needles. Wan Fukan's record is amazing, not only in terms of speed, but also in terms of ingenuity. Indeed, who would think of threading a needle without using one's eyes or arms? This Chinese man arranged the needles on a wooden plank about 1 meter long. It looked something like a long comb with needles instead of teeth. All the needles were positioned on the same level, each approximately 1 centimeter away from each other. And then something incredible happened, because Wan put a red thread in his mouth and threaded 44 needles in a minute without even looking at them.
It's a new Guinness World Record.
I don't know how the fuck, because I can't even get 1 string of the goddamn stupid ass little needle things, bro. So the way how the fuck?
Johann Schwartz set a world record
Superhuman.
for continuous drift. Yes, such records do exist, but what Johann
Sorry for my language.
simply defies
I'm trying.
competition. He drifted in a BMW M5 in a circle for 8 hours straight. 8 hours. To set the record, BMW came up with a custom fuel system capable of refueling the car mid-drift. A second BMW M5 with an additional fuel tank had to start drifting together with Schwartz. The stuntman suspended himself out of the rear passenger window in order to connect and hold the fuel line to the filler. Though it looks like a scene from The Fast and the Furious, this is a real video shot for the Guinness Book of Records. The refueling was done 5 times in 8 hours, and Schwartz drifted roughly 374 kilometers, which is 210 kilometers more than the previous record. No one refueled the car of the previous record holder though. Instead, an additional tank was installed on the car. Cliff diving. Have you ever heard of cliff diving? This is a special kind of diving which literally takes your breath away. All you need is a high cliff, a deep enough pool, and a daring man to make a jump. Cliff diving originated in Hawaii. This country has cliffs, which seem to have been designed for diving into the water. This activity was invented many years ago by the locals. They tested their will and bravery in this way, because not everyone would dare jump off a cliff. Today, cliff diving is a popular extreme sport in many corners of the world.
Man, that hole better be deep, because I ain't trying to break shit.
Would be brave enough to do it. For example, one daredevil set a world record after leaping almost 60 meters from a cliff and into a tiny pool of water. The jump lasted less than 4 seconds, and the man reached a speed of 123 kilometers per hour before touching the water.
I know his heart left his body.
It's not surprising that he needed some time to recover after the jump. Because of the high altitude, his body experienced great stress when landing into the water. In addition, it is very important to enter the water completely vertical to avoid grave injuries. World record freefall.
Them butterflies, nigga.
What is the top speed
I seen this one
during a freefall? Australian skydiver.
So y'all gonna sit there and not act like this motherfucker didn't jump from outer space? Okay. So that's what we're doing. The bitch jumped from outer space. He was looking at the goddamn planet, fam. That's a little. Now that's beyond heights, nigga. Shit.
1,342 kilometers per hour. That is, it exceeded the speed of sound. Just imagine how fast he was falling during his 10-minute descent.
Shit, sometimes I'd be scared to jump off a goddamn swing, nigga. Shit.
At a height of 1.5 kilometers above the Earth, he deployed the parachute. By the way, the helium balloon and suit were custom made by engineers, specially for Baumgartner. The members of his team insisted that Baumgartner set his record not for the sake of fame, but for a serious scientific purpose. They believe that the success of the project will result in the creation of new emergency evacuation systems for high-speed jets. Psst, dude, are you looking for new technologies and great gadgets? Are your thoughts focused on the future? Do you love huge vehicles and cars?
Nah, I don't want that. Cause if a nigga hit me, I'm gonna get mad. I don't give a fuck what's gaming out.
And you'll find all this and more. The link is in the description. You interested? Great.
But make sure y'all like and subscribe.